Alright, the next thing we're going to talk about is how to add vectors quickly. And the key to this is by having them both in Cartesian notation. So if you take a look on the screen here, we have two vectors indicated by arrows, and underneath them they've been converted to Cartesian form. One of the main reasons why Cartesian forms exist is to make your mathematics easier. With addition and subtraction, it literally becomes as straightforward as it can possibly be. So let's say that your goal was to find C, where C is A plus B. In other words, you want to add these two vector quantities together. Now, the trick of being able to add them together is to put them into Cartesian form. If they are in Cartesian form, the components simply add together. So if your goal here is to find C, what you can do is you can just add the x's together, or add the x components of your vectors together, and then add the y components of your vectors together. So here, for the x components, we have 2 and negative 3. If you add these together, you'll get negative 1. And for the y components, we have 3 and 4. If you add these together, you'll get 7. Alright, so this will give you your resultant vector in basically one step. And this is the power of Cartesian notation. You could draw these, right? You could go A is like this, and B is like this, and do a whole bunch of complicated stuff to get your resultant vector C. However, if they're in Cartesian form, instead of drawing them out, it's often easier to simply just mathematically add them up. And that's going to be your goal for doing most of this mathematics. You're going to be converting all your vectors to Cartesian form so that you can add them and perform algebraic operations to them. The reason why this works so well is because x and y coordinates are perpendicular to one another. They have a mathematical property known as orthogonality. In other words, they're completely independent from one another. And because they're completely independent, you can just add them and deal with them separately.